The Holocaust, a dark chapter in human history. The Holocaust. The Holocaust, one of the darkest chapters in human history, was the systematic persecution and genocide of millions of Jews and other minority groups by Nazi Germany and its collaborators during World War II. This essay delves into the Holocaust's origins, the progression of its horrors, the resilience of survivors, and the enduring lessons that must be learned from this tragedy. The origins of antisemitism. 1. Historical roots. Antisemitism, or prejudice against Jews, has deep historical roots dating back centuries. Jews have faced discrimination, persecution, and expulsion from various countries throughout history. 2. The Protocols of the Elders of Zion. In the late 19th century, the anti-Semitic hoax document known as the Protocols of the Elders of Zion emerged. It falsely claimed that Jews were conspiring to control the world, further stoking anti-Semitic sentiments. 2. Rise of Adolf Hitler and the Nazi Party. 1. Hitler's ideology. Adolf Hitler, an Austrian-born former soldier, rose to power as the leader of the National Socialist German Workers' Party, Nazi Party. His virulent anti-Semitic beliefs and desire for Aryan racial purity laid the groundwork for the Holocaust. 2. The Nuremberg Laws. In 1935, the Nuremberg Laws were enacted, stripping Jews of their citizenship and legal rights. These laws institutionalized antisemitism and segregation. 3. Kristallnacht, Night of Broken Glass. In November 1938, a wave of anti-Jewish violence erupted across Germany and Austria. Synagogues were destroyed, Jewish businesses were looted, and thousands of Jews were arrested. 3. The beginnings of persecution. 1. Jewish deportations. In the late 1930s and early 1940s, Jews in Nazi-occupied territories faced increasing persecution. They were subjected to forced labor, property confiscation, and isolation from the wider population. 2. Establishment of concentration camps. The first concentration camp, Dachau, was established in 1933, followed by others such as Buchenwald and Sachsenhausen. These camps initially held political prisoners, but they soon became centers for broader persecution. The Final Solution. 1. Wannsee Conference, 1942. In January 1942, high-ranking Nazi officials met at the Wannsee Conference to plan the systematic extermination of European Jews. The Final Solution called for mass deportations, forced labor, and mass murder. 2. Death camps. To implement the Final Solution, extermination camps like Auschwitz, Sobibor, and Treblinka were established. These camps were equipped with gas chambers and crematoria to efficiently murder millions. Versus mass murder and atrocities. 1. Auschwitz-Birkenau. Auschwitz-Birkenau, the largest extermination camp, witnessed the deaths of over 1 million people. Victims were subjected to brutal medical experiments, forced labor, and mass killings. 2. Medical experiments. Nazi doctors conducted gruesome experiments on inmates, including sterilization, freezing experiments, and testing of new drugs. Many of these experiments resulted in the suffering and death of the subjects. 3. Resistance and uprisings. Despite the overwhelming odds, some prisoners organized resistance movements and uprisings in concentration camps, such as the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising in 1943. Liberation and liberation. 1. Allied advances. As Allied forces advanced through Europe in 1944 and 1945, they liberated concentration camps and witnessed the horrors of the Holocaust. These discoveries shocked the world. 2. Survivors and their stories. Survivors of the Holocaust faced the immense challenge of rebuilding their lives. Many shared their stories, ensuring that the world would never forget the atrocities they endured. 7. The Nuremberg Trials and Justice. 1. Nuremberg Trials, 1945–1946. In a historic series of trials held in Nuremberg, Germany, Prominent Nazi leaders and officials were prosecuted for war crimes, crimes against humanity, and genocide. These trials established the principle that individuals could be held accountable for international crimes. 2. The legacy of Nuremberg. The Nuremberg Trials laid the groundwork for subsequent international criminal tribunals and the development of modern international law. 8. Lessons learned and unlearned. 1. Never again. The Holocaust prompted the world to vow, never again, pledging to prevent future genocides and atrocities. The United Nations established the Genocide Convention in 1948, defining genocide as a punishable crime. 2. Contemporary genocides. Despite these efforts, the world has witnessed subsequent genocides in places like Cambodia, Rwanda, Bosnia, and Darfur, underscoring the challenges of preventing such atrocities. 11. Conclusion. The Holocaust is a painful and indelible reminder of the darkest aspects of humanity. It serves as a stark warning against the consequences of unchecked hatred, discrimination, and prejudice. The Holocaust's legacy encompasses both the depths of human cruelty and the resilience of the human spirit. It challenges us to remember, learn, and work tirelessly to prevent such atrocities from ever happening again. In the face of the Holocaust's horrors, the world must continue to uphold the principles of justice, tolerance, and human rights, ensuring that the promise of "never again" becomes a reality.